What's happening, people? I hope you're all well. So I'm in the not so cloudy, wet and muggy UK. Today is apparently one of the hottest days of the year, so I'm gonna enjoy it while I can. And yeah, so we're out here in the hot and sunny UK, and I'm out here to make another video. So the topic of the video today is how to deal with hot and cold people who blow hot and cold. And this is going to be a reoccurring theme in life. You're going to have people who blow hot and cold. It's an interesting one because there's very many layers and facets to break down in this video. So let's get into it. Yeah, so sometimes you're gonna get like people who just sometimes they're really cool with you and they got lots of time to spend talking to you, and we've all sort of been there. We've all been there, you know. There's that person who's got 20 minutes to spare to have an insightful conversation with you, and then on the other hand, you know, a week later you try and talk to them and they're just, you know, not interested, or they're blunt. And I think the first thing I want to sort of make clear is that people have things going on in their lives and everyone handles it differently. So you might meet someone who's a real cool person, but they're going through it. Yeah, sometimes people are just going through it. I know myself, when I've got lots of things that I'm thinking about, I'm not always in the mood to have a half an hour conversation with someone. And of course, that's when everyone wants to have a half an hour conversation with me. So we're only human out here. And I guess you have to keep that in your mind as well. It doesn't mean that people are evil out here. In fact, I would argue that most people are not evil out here. That's why learning human psychology, you know, I'm not claiming to be an expert out here, but analyzing human behavior, identifying when you do certain things, and then analyzing you in relation to other people, and then analyzing ultimately the behavioral patterns of other people is really important to navigate your way through life. Because this channel isn't about this is what you do, you're a loser, or you know, like, oh, these people do this, therefore we're gonna do this in return, like a game or something. It's not about that. It's not like I'm not trying to teach you like tricks or games or anything like that. I wouldn't say teach is the word. I'm not trying to give you advice, you know, like, oh yeah, if a girl does this, you do this. It's like a trick. It's not like that. Or like, I don't know, like these people blowing hot and cold, so you do this. It's not about that. It's more about navigating your way through life and always checking yourself, which as humans we're not always the best at doing. I know people who would never check themselves, and it's really frustrating to be around people who don't check themselves, because then they're always doing the same thing to you, and it's like, it's such an easy adjustment to make and everyone's lives would be better for it, but some people just don't want to make that change. So don't be that person. Always try and make that change. Always try and make that change. So we're back to the topic at hand here. Yeah, some people just blow hot and cold because they've got things going on. Another reason people blow hot and cold is because they don't like you. They don't like you, but you have a particular use. So they don't need you for something. So right now you go talk to them, and they, you know, oh yeah, you know, oh Joseph, you know, you want to chill later? Nah, man, I can't. You know, I've already made plans. You know, but truth be told, you have a particular opportunity in your pocket. You know, so and so that can get Joseph to the next stage of his life, and all of a sudden he's got a spare minute for you. So, some people are opportunists, and the reason they're all of a sudden hot, they got your time and attention. You got their time and attention is because you have something they want. And then when you don't have that anymore, all of a sudden they're blowing cold and they got no time for you. They're walking past you. I don't know why high school is such a sort of like baseline indication for life sometimes. It's like when someone wants something from you in high school, they'll walk up to you and be all friendly, but when they didn't, like, they would just walk past you. No eye contact, no acknowledgement. Sometimes, not everyone, but some people. And I guess it's like a continuation of that in life, metaphorically speaking. Some people, they don't even want to give you the time of day or look at you. But I was going to stop and film like this. Imagine, that'd be quite a nice way to film. I got things to do, unfortunately. So yeah, some people, they blow hot and cold because they're opportunists. You don't have anything they want on a Wednesday morning, so they ain't got time for you. But some people, they I don't want to make this about gender, but women, they do tend to be more emotional than men. I would argue that in some ways men are actually more emotional than women, but in some ways women are certainly more emotional than men in the sort of front cover sort of way, in a front cover sort of way, like, so the face we wear every day, I would say that women are more emotional than men, and that means sometimes they're going to be really on it with you, and sometimes they're just not going to be really on it with you. And I've seen women do this to each other, so it doesn't make women evil. It just means that I think that women oftentimes, moreover, will blow hot and cold. I've been away and the grass in this park has really grown. Wow. Women, a bit like my hair, women often will blow hot and cold a bit more than men, but it's not because they're evil, it's just because of emotions, and they do it. I've seen them do it to each other, so it's not really like something not to criticize. But if you're talking to a woman and she's like blowing a bit hot and cold, then I wouldn't, unless it's like a extreme, I would just let her process her emotions. So yeah, that's something that you should certainly consider when you're dealing with the opposite gender. Sometimes they will blow hot and cold, and it's not necessarily anything particular that you've done. It's just the emotions tend to be more aggressive than logic, and they tend to be more up, all the way down. So yeah, just to sort of round off that point, sometimes women can blow hot and cold because their emotions, and they just got to process their emotions. And again, I've even seen them do this to each other. So don't take it personal. Doesn't mean they're evil. We all have the advantages that we have. We all have the challenges we have, and we all have the what is about us as well. It's neither bad nor good. It just is what it is. The next thing about people who blow hot and cold is, and I'm going to get to what you should do about it. With women, you're talking to a woman, she blow hot and cold, let her process her emotions, as long as it's not every other day. If it's every other day, then analyze whether that's someone you really want to have in your life. And then with regards to people who blow hot and cold, there's more people who blow hot and cold. People at work, your workmates, some of them will blow hot and cold. Again, this tends to be a more opportunist and more of an opportunist thing. You get management who will blow hot and cold on you. It's crazy, man. I've left England for a bit, come back, and it's a bit, I don't know. It's just different sometimes when you step out and step back in. Sometimes people who blow hot and cold at work, it's just because again, they could be having a bad day, or you don't, they need you something work related. They don't like you, but it's work related, or they don't like you or dislike you, and they don't normally talk to you, nothing in common, but it's just work related. and so they come and talk to you. Again, just be professional about that. Work at the end of the day, yeah, like work is like, you gotta look at work as business. You're part of a business, or you're running your own business, or you're part owner of a business. Like, this is business related. There's no time to get personal about these things. Yeah, you can think, oh yeah, what or I need to watch what I say because of the YouTube algorithm. But yeah, you can think that. But at the end of the day, business is business, and as long as what you're doing at business is making it run right, then is part of making it run right, then we're all human, but try not to get emotionally involved in the running of a business. So if someone blows hot and cold at work and they're not talking to you on lunch break, they're not talking to you when there's a little bit of quiet time, but they are talking to you when it's business related, then just don't take it personal and just deal with it professionally. Then you get management who sometimes it's psychological. I don't know if they learn this, because I've never been on like a management course in that. I've never been on like a management course, but I don't know if people learn this, but some managers, and I know this from the past, I know this just from my past dealings with people. Some managers, and I even know this, like some managers, what they do is they, how can I say it? Sometimes they'll come up to you and talk to you and be real friendly with you, and like try and really, really like be friends with you, and the next minute they'll just walk past you or be like real blunt with you. I don't know if it's a psychological thing, to keep you not knowing where you stand with them, so that you're always trying to win their approval, and therefore somehow increasing your productivity rate because you're in a state of uncertainty. Because that's the other thing I was going to talk about. When someone's trying to impress you, and when you're trying to impress someone, you are in a sense in a state of uncertainty, because you don't know. If you're trying to impress them, you're not fully confident that you have you've got that person's validation, and it's a very powerful position for someone to put themselves in, where you're in a state of uncertainty and you're trying to impress someone. So I don't know if management at work do that. 1 minute they're talking to you, next minute they're being blunt with you, next minute they're being funny with you, and to keep you in a state of uncertainty, so you're trying to win their approval and thus increasing your productivity. But in that state, just be centered, centered and polite is the way I say. You don't want to lose your job. You don't want to say, oh, why are you acting up with me? But you don't want to be trying to win their approval. You just want to be centered and just be a productive person, be polite, and thus increasing your chances of, securing job security and just getting what you want out of, where you want to be at work. Then I think that's pretty much it, because I could sit here all day and list reasons. These things happen, I could list reasons all day, and I could just list, there's so many reasons why people could blow hot and cold. I want to say that, like, sometimes people blow hot and cold, managers, women, me, because we're just having a bad day. So that's the main thing. Sometimes people are just having a bad day. Sometimes people are going through it. Sometimes, a guy who you don't really know too well, but you are friendly with, his girl could be giving him all sorts of drama. He don't want to talk to you about it, but he also doesn't want to have a half an hour conversation when at the same time you're in the mood to have a real long conversation. So, thank you. Sometimes people just blow hot and cold because they're having a hard time, and they don't necessarily want to tell you because you're not the closest person. No disrespect to them. That's pretty much it. Like, women, sometimes they'll blow hot and cold with you because, women do tend to be a bit more emotional. It's nothing against women. It's not even women's fault. It just is what it is. It's not good, neither good nor bad. And because of this, they even do it to each other. Sometimes they're just not going to be as honest with you as other times. People blow hot and cold with you because they're trying to keep you in a state of uncertainty, so that you can continuously be trying to win their approval, and that's not knowing where you stand with them, and you almost put yourself underneath them without realizing it. What to do about people that blow hot and cold? You need to, in general, a good thing to do is you need to go into good old stoic mode. Down the line, centered, not rude, but not overly polite. When someone's being hot with you, you just use your discretion to assess, use your discernment to assess when it's cool to bring your personality out a little bit. You know, bring your personality out, bring yourself out and engage with that person. You know, and it's okay to do that sometimes. But then you should also use your discernment to know when you just need to be centered, down the line, stoic mode, neither rude nor polite, just down the line and protect your energy. But don't hate, you know, don't hate on people. We're all on this journey. We all think we know so much, but we really know so little. So, you know, life isn't easy, even for those who have got billions in their pocket. There's always some sort of challenge that we're trying to, that's either but in the background that's about to come right in front of our face, or a challenge that we've just dealt with and we just need that time for ourselves. So just chill with it, and, you know, just know when to bring your personality out a bit, and know when to just go into stoic mode and just be centered, down the line. When you feel something's a little bit off, stoic mode. And yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. You know, don't hate on people, just do what you can, and what will be. And people who blow hot and cold, don't get rude to them, but when they're blowing hot, you can sort of bring your personality out if you want to. If they're blowing cold, then stoic mode time. Anyway, let me know what you think about this video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, hit the notification bell to get a notification when I make a new video. If you appreciate my work and want to leave a donation, there's a link for that in the description with that. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one.